participation of any pretenders, those who pretended to represent the South Vietnam regime. We particularly had in mind the mandate of these rulers. What mandate does the South Vietnam rulers have? Who gave it to them? From where? From whom did they receive the right to lord it in these regions? From the dead or from the living? From Ngo Dinh Diem, perhaps the puppet who was set up because of foreign occupation, and then because of the same reason and at the behest of the same people, one usurper was replaced by another henchman. But as they say, a monkey with a crown on his head still remains a monkey. The puppets are being changed and replacing each other. Ngo Dinh Diem, Lee Sin Man, and this is part of the policy. The Eastern peoples are famous for their wisdom, expressed in the words that a snake does not become straight even if he is put through a bamboo tube. 130 seconds, and I quote. There is a tremendous armed force present, which is carrying out a punitive war against the South Vietnam population. Who, at this present time, would be bold enough to say that those who have taken over from the Foreign Legion, as it were, have now become, as it were, advisors, friends of the people, and so forth? The American press will not hide that the men serving, the United States men, are participating directly in military clashes there. The paper Newsweek of the 18th of May of this year stated quite openly, and I quote, that undoubtedly the American advisors are subject to firing, and they are fired upon. But they also do quite a bit of shooting themselves, end of quotation. As far as regards the efforts of the distinguished representative of the United States to whitewash the American military intervention in the affairs of other countries of Southeast Asia, permit me, sir, to refrain from making any personal judgments about this. And I would simply like to confine myself to a reference to the opinion of a very well-known compatriot of Ambassador Stevenson, the senior senator, Moss. I am thinking about the statement he made, that is the statement of Senator Moss in the Senate on the 18th of May of this year on the question of the McNamara War in South Vietnam. This is contained in document, Congressional Records, Senate, /10859. This is what Mr. Morse says, and I quote. We support the totalitarian, military, tyrannical, puppet government in South Vietnam. If anybody believes that in South Vietnam people are free, then we can hardly be more mistaken. Such people, that is.
Czechoslovakia will keep his stopwatch on me. And also, I trust that my remarks will be quite as clear as those of the representative of the Soviet Union. The representative of Cambodia rejected any proposal to define the Cambodian frontier. He has rejected something I did not propose. What I suggested was that the frontier was ill-marked. I believe this is irrefutable, and if it were well marked, we might avoid such incidents as have brought us to the council table today. Secondly, Mr. President, the representative of the Soviet Union attempted to belittle what I had to say by characterizing my remarks as advertising techniques. Let me urge him not to take my statement too lightly. Soviet policy explicitly supports the subversion and overthrow of independent national governments, of newly independent states, and their replacement by communist regimes. That is precisely what the communists are trying to do in Southeast Asia. We will support peoples who are prepared to resist this, and that is precisely what we are doing in South Vietnam. I hope I have confined my remarks to the permitted time.
États-Unis, j'espère que la représentant de Tchécoslovaquie va...
Has so lightly taken the statement which we made in connection with his statement which we have just heard. I think it requires a more serious and more reflective and a more responsible approach. And the representative of a great power, it behoves such a representative to refrain from very